Hi everyone, my name is Grace Efezukai and I'm so happy to be doing this video here with you on the Nima Career YouTube channel. And Nima Careers was founded to help immigrants like myself when I moved back like 6 years ago to Canada to level up in their careers. There's always that whole stereotypes that immigrants, when you move into a country, for example, if you're moving from Nigeria to Canada, that you have to start from ground zero. And Nima Careers is here to cancel all those stereotypes that, hey, you can level up from your careers from wherever you are. So we created this YouTube channel to help as many people as possible. And we're going to be doing a series of videos. There's going to be series of about 3 videos on how to write your resume. So get ready, how to optimize your LinkedIn profile and how to interview like a pro. So we have a whole lot more interesting stuff. But today we're going to be discussing introducing Nima careers to you and also talking about 5 things that you need to think about before migrating. So I'm really excited. But what I'm going to do first is that I'm going to really talk about myself and how Nima Careers actually was formed. So my name is Grace, like I said, and I grew up in Lagos, Nigeria. I moved to Canada in the fall of 2017. That was like October. And there were so many things that I wish I had known or wish I had done before coming in. But when I came, my first year, it was just a bit of struggle. I felt like I was just struggling in every area. And I used to think, did I make the wrong decision? Do I want to go back? But my why, the reason why I migrated was what kept me going. And I'm so grateful to be here. I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful for all the people that God has also used in my life, in the course of my career, course of building my career here. I currently work for one of the top 5 Canadian banks on the capital markets team. And on the side, I also help with Nima Careers. So I'll really tell you how Nima Career started. That way I said that the people in your journey, your immigrant journey, very, very, very important. So for me, I moved to I wanted to apply for a role. No, I didn't want to apply for this role. It was just a role that a program, like an event, and I felt like I was going to go because my friend was going to be one of the speakers, and I met 3 amazing women, she and 2 other women, and they encouraged me to apply for the Return to Bay Street program. It's a Canadian program, and the organization that funds it is Women in Capital Markets. And so they really helped me, they were really so into it, even more than I was, helping me with my interview prep, helping me with my resume. And I thought this was really good. I should actually help my friends as well. So I was reaching out to my friends, hey, who wants to do resume review? Who wants to do interview prep? And I was sharing about the things that I learned from them. And I really found that I really enjoyed it. So after doing a whole lot of free stuff, I started to go to the local library to get all the information I can get on how to better improve my resume writing skills that I kind of was taken as a hobby at the time. And I read books on how to interview well. I still do. I still read a whole lot of books from the libraries. I buy some sometimes, and I also watch a ton of videos on YouTube and LinkedIn Learning on how to do all of this great stuff. And so far so good. I've helped over 100 professionals across Canada, UK, Australia. Yeah, I think those are the 3 countries I can remember now at the top of my head. And, it's been so fulfilling. I know that I have a great job in a Canadian bank. I love my job. My job pays me well. But you see, the fulfillment I get from Nima Careers, I can't quantify it in words. So that's why I'm going to be doing all of this, because I think that I haven't really seen anyone doing a whole lot of breakdown videos like I've planned. And I think that everyone should level up in their careers. So I did slides, that's why I'm doing Google Meet record, because I think it's easy and pretty straightforward. So I'm going to be going right into it right now and sharing my slide. All right, so let's go ahead and share the link right now. All right. So this is a relocation guide that I'm going to be showing you, and we're talking about, introductions and what are the things you should think about before relocating. These are some of the things I wish I had known, things that I wish I had done, before coming in, and wish even some of my friends and clients that I spoke to, we wish we had all done this as well. But I'll be happy to share all of this with you, in the course of the following slides. So introduction is Grace, like I said again, Grace Efezokai. The KH is, it has this kick sound. And the services that we provide at Nima Careers is we help with resume revamps, we help you prepare for your interviews, we help you optimize your LinkedIn profile, and also if you need ideas on how to on strategy to how to help with your job search when you're moving into a new country, please reach out to us at consult@nimacareers.com. Send us a copy of your resume, tell us all the things that you need, and we'll be set up a call with you. And this is a paid service. Thank you. And also we are here on YouTube, Nima Careers, and this is our very first video. And then Instagram at Nima Careers. So I'll just get right into it because I want the videos to be as short and, concise and with much more value, with all the videos that we're going to be uploading. So the first one is, what is your why? It's very important to have a why. Very, very, as in like, I can't stress how important it is, because your why is what is going to keep you going. Your why is what is going to help you in your, when the times are good, during the challenging times, during the good times, your why just keeps you going. And why I say this is because I know that in my home country right now, there's this JAPA movement and it's really a movement about where people are really leaving the country due to various reasons peculiar to them, and which is really there's not, I'm not going to say it's a good or a bad thing, but then I also want you to know that you need to have a why, so that you don't just relocate because your friends are relocating, or relocate because all my cousins, all my siblings have all left as well. You need to have, fine, that can influence your decision, but you need to have your own reason why you are relocating to Canada or UK or whatever country that you're going to. I'll be mentioning Canada a lot, but this can apply to like other countries. What is your why? Don't move to a new country and say, oh, my uncle said I should just come, that it will help me. My sister said I should just come, that she'll help me. I'll just go and do school. Any school is fine. No, please have a why, and let your why be based on solid, informed decisions, like informed, have quality information that is driving that why. So for me, one of the many reasons why I wanted to move to Canada was I wanted adventure. And I know when I say the people always like adventure, really, I'm hearing that for the first time. I wanted to be able to travel as much as I could, as I wanted to, right? I had travel goals, and I realized that staying in Nigeria, I needed to earn more money. So one of the reasons why I moved here was adventure. And that's why I stayed in Toronto, because Toronto has a lot of direct flights to places. And I also wanted to get a second passport, which I already have, and I'm so happy to have it. And I also wanted my kids to have options. I don't have a family yet, but I'm just saying, like in future, when I have kids and raise a family, I wanted them to have options. So even when they were telling me, I was like, you know what, I'm done, I want to move back home. Those were the things that really kept me going. So have your own why. Your why can be for the kids, which is great. Your why can be for yourself. Amazing. Have your why, because it has to be based on your personal convictions. It's going to keep you grounded. That's going to give you a sense of purpose through your journey and your relocation journey and your life as an immigrant in a new country. So we'll go to the next slide. And then this one is a mindset shift. Like you really, really, really need, this is, I think this is even should even be number one. This is very powerful. Why I say mindset shift is that you need to have an abundance mindset, because what I see is that there's always this idea that when you especially if you're Black, let me just say that if you're Black and you're moving to like maybe a country like it's a Western country, there's always that default mindset that, oh, when I get there, everything I've worked for in my home country is nothing. I will just start from a minimum wage job, or whatever survivor job I get is fine. And then people will tell you, you're a bank manager, you have 10 years experience, and when they'll tell you when it comes to Canada, just forget about your bank manager, or just know that you'll start from survivor job, which is very wrong. Like that mindset, it's so limiting, because I remember one time I was speaking to someone, and she said she was still in Nigeria, and she was planning to come to Canada, I think in a month's time. And she told me that, oh, someone told me that, oh, the only thing I can get is a customer service role. And she was like, oh, tell what she was actually only applying for. I'm like, for goodness sake, you work for amazing financial institutions. you've worked for your current company is a consulting company, one of the top firms in Nigeria, and then you now come in and think that's the only thing you have is a customer service role. So you need to have that mindset, because the whole journey starts from your mind. When you think like you are here to eat the good of the land, right? Because when you see a country saying, "Oh, we're opening up the borders to immigrants. We want to have immigrants to our 100,000 immigrants every 6 months," for example, don't think that they're doing it because they like you. They're doing it also for their benefits, because maybe they have an aging population. They need to build their tax base, and human capital is one of the major resources of any country in the world. All the countries in the world. So them, and even if you look at Canada PR system, the application is through education. They'll ask for, that they have a criteria. They don't just open the borders to just everybody, right? So that you need to understand that your host country, they are privileged to have you. When you come in, you're going to work, you help their tax base, right? You're helping them improve their human capital resources that they have. You're going to pay rent or buy a house. You're improving their real estate. There's just so many things. So you need to work with that consciousness that I'm the value. Yes, I'm grateful that this country granted me this amazing permanent residency card, but you need to understand that it's going to be a mutually beneficial relationship. Don't think, oh, it's just so, and you start complaining, I pay too much taxes. Your country is getting so much from you. What are you also getting back from them? So that mindset shift is very important. And one thing I will also say is that maybe due to the excesses of colonialism, right? We have cases where even till now it still happens. So for example, if I did my master's in Lagos and somebody has a master's from, let's say, the US, an employer in Nigeria will value the abroad masters more than the local masters. I don't know if this is because of I know it's one of the excesses of colonialism, right? So people always have that mindset like, hey, what I just have is just a Nigerian degree. You don't just have a Nigerian degree. When you are leaving your home country, the local country, Nigeria, and yeah, that's your local country. When you come here into Canada, Canada now becomes your local country, and your experience, your education, your certification, and everything is now global experience. You need to have that consciousness, because that's what is really, really going to help you, through your journey. And then next one is to do your own research. Like, it's so important, like very important, because even though you're going to, like, ask your friends, or let me ask my sister, what should I do? Let me ask my brother or my ex-colleague, those are great, but you also need to do your own research, right? Like in Nigerian pidgin, I used to say, them say no be information. And it literally means that hearsay is not the best of, like, it's not, doesn't give you the most accurate information. And I know that when I was an auditor, in the early part of my career, well, maybe, like, for example, the client says, "Oh, look at this client A, customer A paid 100,000 naira, right? For maybe they sold something to the customer." How do you verify that? You verify that through bank transactions. You verify that through invoices, right? So you need to be able to, don't just say, "Oh, somebody said, oh, Ontario is the best place to be. Somebody said this." Don't be saying somebody. You can say, "Oh, somebody said this, but this is what I found when I went online." Please take the work yourself. Even when you're applying for, like, masters, also do your research, to the schools you want to apply to. What programs do you want to take? Because you can't just rely on just what the agency, like, "Oh, this is the only school you should apply to." No, do your own research as well. Take out time. Like, you're going to fly miles away from your country. Take out that time to also, um, plan as well, because it's going to take a toll on you physically, emotionally. You're leaving your family, your friends. Sometimes it might get lonely for you, for people, for like extroverts that are very out there. They come here and realize that all their friends are back home, and then you can start getting feelings of kind of loneliness. But for introverts like us, we'll have our inner space, right? So think about all those things. You have a family, you have 3 kids, you're living in Lagos, you have a driver, you have a cook, you have a help, maybe 2 helps. Everybody does everything for you, and then you're moving alone. Have you thought about how you're going to take care of your children without all this numerous help, before you find your feet and start trying to, like, pay for help? Because help is expensive here compared to back home, right? And this verse. I really like this verse in the Bible. It's Luke 14:28. It says that, for who would construct a house before first sitting down to estimate the cost to complete it? So some of us, like me, we didn't really count costs. We just moved here and think, oh, when we come, we'll figure things out. Please start figuring things out before you come. It doesn't have to be fine. You may figure things out and then come here and realize, oh, you're figuring out. That's to you have to change that, right? But still have a plan. Count the cost physically, emotionally, financially. You are going to be spending whatever, maybe Nigerian naira, converting it here. Imagine somebody coming here and paying rent first month, 1 month is $2,000, and you pay that every month for 12 months. Let's say $2,000 in Nigerian naira, I can estimate maybe, let's just assume is 1 million. 1 million is what you can use to get a very good house in Nigeria for maybe 2 years, depending on the location. You can even get something lesser in like lesser known cities outside of Lagos for a cheaper rate, and you can get that 1 million, can maybe even help you with three years rent. So think about all these things when you're making a decision about your career. We're going to talk about job search strategies in the next video. Think about the career as well. What are your career plans? Do you want to do a pivot? Do you want to continue in the path where you're in? Do you need to upskill? All those kind of things. We'll do a video to discuss that. Your family, your children, when are they going to go to school? How are they going? What school are they going to go to? All those things, you need to really plan it well. Education, housing. Think about all these things before you move. Very important. So do your research, count the costs, count every cost. If you have, like, if you're like me, I like spreadsheets, you know, do whatever it is that you need. And in doing your research, I'm not saying that, I know I said that hearsay is not the best form of acquiring information, but it could be a base, but still speak to as many people as you can. And I know that even the Bible says that in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. Reach out to as much people as you can, to get information. And also do your own research, personal research online. So the next one is avoid negative vibe. Hey God, even before you move into the country, before you relocate, before you even board your flights, people start telling you that, why you think all your experience is going to waste? You are this, why are you leaving? They'll tell you all this kind of negative, negative comments. Even when you move here, you even reach out to someone, tell you that, I can't refer you for this role because you don't have Canadian experience. Please try to avoid, don't dwell on it. Yes, it's going to come. People are going to tell you, oh, you're dreaming too high, you're aiming too high, all those kind of things. Just know that avoid negative vibe, and also be very careful with people who give you all form of tales of woes, because they're telling you based on their own experience. And immigration is a personal journey. What worked for you may not work for me. What worked for me may not work for you. So people will always give you that whole bias in their it may come in form of advice, right, or suggestions, but then there's a bias to it because they're telling you based on their own personal experience. So someone say, well, I stayed in Ontario and things didn't work out for me, that's why I moved to Alberta. But maybe Ontario is where the land is going to be green for you in all sides. So try and be very careful with how you process information from people, because you need to have a positive attitude 24/7. Trust me, I moved here alone. So I can imagine how people will have kids and everything, how they even do their relocation. So you need to be, because you're going to face trials. Maybe you're applying for a job, you're not getting it. You maybe want to get the kind of housing you want, you're not getting it because landlords are saying they don't want to give you because you don't have a job yet. So all those kind of things, it can really like down your spirits. So you must make sure that you have a positive attitude 24/7, and keep your surround yourself with positive minded people. If it's music that is going to give you that positivity, please do it. But you need to have a positive mindset, because even when you meet people, I've met people, maybe they're just frustrated with their immigration journey, and then their whole face, there's just gloomy. They can't even speak well about what they've done in their home country. So be very careful. You need to have a merry heart in the midst of everything that may be happening around you. You need to have a positive attitude. And the last one is relationships. Like, I don't know how to even say this one. Relationships matter a whole lot. You can't do life alone, even in your home country. Moving into a new country, you need people as much as you can. I know that you might say, oh, I'm a very private person, I want to keep things to myself. Amazing. But I want you to know that you need people. You say, oh, I don't want to share with people from my home country. whatever it is, please, you need people in every course of your journey. Like the world is so interconnected. And I know when people think of networking, they think of something transactional, but no, networking first should be how can I add value to people? Because you need to when you come in, right? I know that fine, you want to start from the familiar, like people, maybe you're from Ghana, you might want to roll with the Ghanaians first. That is great. But now that you're in a country like Canada where you have people from multiple countries living here, expand your borders. You can't just say you want to just roll with just Africans. Reach out to the Canadians, the Brazilians, the Asians, the Australians here. Whatever, expand your borders. I'm very open-minded to meet people because you never know. You need people for everything. Not just when I say network, people think, oh, networking, I'm not looking for a job. It's not about that. You need to be able to build relationships. And one of the ways you can do this is to be very open-minded. Don't tight yourself and tight your chest to the world and think, oh, because this person doesn't look like me, I can't roll with this person. You need to expand your borders. You need to be open-minded to meet people because relationships matter a lot. I told you how people helped me with my resume prep. I'd never met them. In fact, I've not met two of them in person till today. But they were at a point in my life, they were pivotal to my career progress and success, right? So it's people. How did I meet them? I attended an online event and I connected with them on LinkedIn afterwards. So be very open-minded. So we'll go back into the first one. We said, what is your why? Your why is very important. Mindset shifts. You are the value. You have an abundance mindset. Do your research. Very important. Plan, plan, plan. You can't plan enough. When you come, you still keep planning. For the rest of your life, you'll be planning. But always be ready. Let me just put it that way. Be ready. Avoid negative vibe. Very, very important. You need to have a very positive attitude. Build relationships, expand your borders in relationships. Seek to add value first. Don't always think, oh, this person is the MD of this and I'm going to meet with her. What can I get? Always think, how can I add value to this person? When you move into a new community, have you thought about volunteering for community events? I want to volunteer my time. I'm adding value to the community. And from there, you meet people. And one of the things I want to say about this is when you're building relationships is, especially when you move into a new country, try and connect with people first. Like simple things as, oh, how are you doing? Where are you from? Oh, nice. I've heard about this, about your country. Somebody says I'm from India. Like when I meet any India now, I'm like, are you from Kerala? Because I've heard so much about Kerala in India. Those are the ways you form connection with people. What I've noticed is that sometimes you meet people and then the next thing I'm already telling you is that, oh, I have 2 master's degree. Calm down first. I know you're looking for a job. You need something. You don't walk around with a banner on your head saying, I'm looking for a job. Connect with people first. It's when you're now talking to them, when you're having coffee, then I realize that people will now know more about you. And also in building relationships, you need to be able to learn how to hold a conversation and build a conversation with somebody that doesn't look like you or someone that is not from your home country. It will really help you because beyond the fact of you need a job or anything, you just need relationships. Relationships really matter in life generally, not now talk of when you now have to relocate. So those are the very 5 things. Start thinking about it. Even before you move, you can start building relationships. Shout to people on LinkedIn, people in your field of study, people that have studied, maybe you're somebody in Unilag, you see a person in Canada, you can use that as a common interest, common ground to reach out to that person. So I hope this has really been helpful to you. I'm sure it has. So these are the upcoming videos on how to create a compelling resume. Just get it, bring your laptop when I'm going to upload those videos. It's going to be in I plan to do 3 videos. How to start, how to do your storytelling, and how to do like a live tailoring a resume to a role. We're going to do a very practical session. How to interview like a pro. Very important because when you're doing, for example, if you're doing a Canadian interview and you're coming from Nigeria, there are certain cultural nuances that you need to know. How do you prepare? What are those cultural things you need to think about? Soft skills. You may do something in Nigeria that will be fine, but here people will look at you like this person. There's always that cultural difference. So you need to be able to understand the culture of the country where you are applying to. How do you optimize your LinkedIn profile? Because right now, when you even apply for a job, recruiters always check your LinkedIn profile. Recruiters reach out to you on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is also a way for you to network, right? And talk about network. And I'll talk about how I've been able to network as an introvert, like leverage my introvertedness to network. Networking is not just for extroverts, for everybody. And I also appreciate contributions from you as time goes on. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Please reach out to us. Let me show you our contact again. It's consults@nimacareers.com. Send me your resume, whatever it is that you want. I will set up a call. And I forgot to say something about this picture. Me and this picture and we have history. It was if I took this picture on my phone at night, and my cousin helped me to brush it up. I did submit it for something, and it really holds a special place in my heart. Maybe one day I'll discuss about the story. But then, I hope you like the video, subscribe, and share, because we have so much more coming up. Thank you. Bye.